Kim Woo-joo hadn't expected that a woman he'd only met twice would suddenly propose he pretend to be her fake husband. He mistakenly thought Mary was a swindler and righteously rejected her. However, he hadn't anticipated that when they met for the third time, the situation would completely reverse, and the man himself would desperately beg for the woman's help. Mary had asked Kim Woo-joo to be her fake husband, only needing him to appear at the department store on the weekend due to confidentiality. She hadn't told Kim Woo-joo that she was asking him to pose as a fake husband to win the grand prize of a villa. Kim Woo-joo mistakenly assumed Mary was trying to trick other men by using a false husband and wife identity. He warned Mary to quickly abandon this idea, even threatening to go to the department store himself that weekend to keep an eye on her. He also stated that if he saw any fraudulent activity, he would immediately call the police. After rejecting Mary, Kim Woo-joo went to the hospital to visit his friend, Jin Jae-ying. He expressed his gratitude to Jin Jae-ying for helping look after his grandmother while he was abroad. Jin Jae-ying was already in love with Kim Woo-joo and subtly implied during the conversation that she had practically served as a granddaughter-in-law during these years. But Kim Woo-joo failed to grasp the hint. Jin Jae-ying then changed the subject and asked when Kim Woo-joo planned to start working at the company. Kim Woo-joo's grandmother manages South Korea's largest confectionery company. Since Kim Woo-joo's parents died, his aunt and uncle held important positions and were his grandmother's right-hand people. However, the aunt's son, Kim Woo-joo's cousin, was incompetent and hadn't achieved any success in his many years of working. The grandmother, in anger, removed the cousin from his position as marketing team leader and decided to give the responsibility to Kim Woo-joo. Although the aunt was unhappy about her son losing his position, the grandmother decided to firmly re-employ Kim Woo-joo, separating personal and professional relationships, and told the cousin to gain new experience. At this time, Kim Woo-joo didn't know that he had already created a major problem in the company even before formally taking charge. Just then, a little girl suddenly falls and sits on the ground, crying loudly. Kim Woo-joo goes to comfort the girl and, upon seeing the doll in her bag, recalls an old memory. When he was a child, his parents died instantly in a car accident, and he was the only one who barely survived. After he was taken to the hospital, a strange little girl came to comfort him and gave him a talking teddy bear doll as a gift. Kim Woo-joo still remembers that warmth, but he doesn't know the girl's name or where she is now. The next day, Kim Woo-joo formally takes charge. His uncle gives him a warm hug and sincerely tells him that if he ever encounters any problems in the company in the future, he should always talk to him. However, when the uncle meets his son in the elevator, he instructs his son to quickly prepare his statement for the meeting, clearly hinting at another plan. Kim Woo-joo participates in the group meeting for the first time. A subordinate deputy manager reports that the company will launch a new gift box. Kim Woo-joo's grandmother, the group's chairperson, really likes the gift box's packaging design and believes it can give customers the joy of opening a gift. However, the cousin mentions at this point that there is a copyright issue with the packaging design. 6 months ago, the deputy manager had shown the signing documents to the cousin, who was the maritime team leader at the time. The documents clearly stated there were 2 options: permanent approval and one-time approval for the design. The company was running a one-time activity then, so the cousin chose the cheaper one-time approval. Now that they are officially launching the product, the deputy manager forgot to renew the contract with the design company. The cousin already knew about this copyright issue but intentionally brought it up when Kim Woo-joo was conducting the meeting to embarrass him. Kim Woo-joo immediately contacts the design company and guarantees an extension of the contract. The grandmother also stresses that this depends on whether the new product can be successfully launched and that no mistakes should be made. Kim Woo-joo asks the staff to contact the design company's representative, but unexpectedly, they demand an astronomical price, about $50 million in copyright fees, 10 times the original amount. At this moment, Kim Woo-joo had no idea that the design company's representative was Mary, the woman who had asked for his help. Just then, she receives a mysterious phone call where the other party says that Ming Juntang Confectionery Company is going to buy the copyright for Lee Hai and that she can raise the design fee at that time, even if it's 10 times the original price. Mary didn't know who called, so she decided to set a high price first to see which way the situation would go. Kim Woo-joo couldn't accept the design company taking advantage, so he wanted to change Lee Hi's design. But the staff reports to him that the preliminary production cost for Lee Hi has already cost 150 million Korean won, and changing the design now would waste the entire initial investment. Kim Woo-joo then asks the staff to contact the design company's representative and arranges to personally meet for negotiations. Mary, without waiting for Min Juntang's reply, first receives a notice from the department store reminding her that if her husband's attendance at the award ceremony cannot be confirmed today, her eligibility to win the prize will be cancelled. With no other option, Mary goes to her ex-boyfriend's house, wanting to ask his mother to help her contact her ex-boyfriend. This woman, who distinguishes between rich and poor, was very proud that her son's new girlfriend's family had good financial standing and inwardly looked down on poor Mary. Before Mary could state her purpose, she first ridiculed Mary for her common birth, low education, and that she had no right to bother her son. The ex-boyfriend's sister also belittled Mary, saying she wasn't worthy of the ex-boyfriend. Seeing the ugly faces of the mother and daughter, Mary completely drops the thought of asking for help and reminds the two that if they meet on the street in the future, they should pretend they don't know each other, and ridicules that the ex-boyfriend is just like his mother. Both mother and son are equally rude and look down on people. The woman angrily wanted to teach her a lesson, but Mary grabbed her arm and counterattacked, stating directly that she was a professor's wife and shouldn't behave so unexpectedly. If she really dared to hit her, Mary would put up large posters in the area and expose that her professor husband was fired from school for harassing an assistant teacher. After saying all this, Mary quickly rushes out of the ex-boyfriend's house. As soon as she reaches the door, she gets a phone call from one of her staff members that the person in charge of Min Juntang has invited her to meet to discuss the specifics of the gift box copyright. Mary arrives first and waits in the conference room. Kim Woo-joo arrives late with the relevant contract, but he had no idea that Mary was waiting for him as the design company's representative. Mary similarly hadn't expected that the person who came to request her help this time would be Kim Woo-joo, the person in charge of Min Juntang. The positions of the two have now swapped. Mary proposes that she can sign the contract at the original price, but Kim Woo-joo must agree to be her fake husband. Kim Woo-joo mistakenly assumes Mary is still planning a scam and did not want to join her. Seeing this, Mary is forced to mention winning the lottery and requests Kim Woo-joo to help her since she is a divorced woman and urgently needs this house. Only then does Kim Woo-joo realize that Mary's previous request was not for fraud. Considering his cousin's provocation and his grandmother's directive, he finally agrees to Mary's request. Mary also quickly signs the contract, solving Kim Woo-joo's current problem first. On the day of the award ceremony, Mary specifically asks Kim Woo-joo to wear a wedding ring and glasses to make him look as much as possible like her ex-boyfriend. When the staff checks their ID cards, Kim Woo-joo lies that he left it in the car but was prepared and easily states his ex-boyfriend's ID number and their marriage registration date. After verifying the entire process, Mary successfully completes the award acceptance procedure. Mary and Kim Woo-joo are arranged to take a photo with the department store representative. Knowing the photo will be published in the news, Kim Woo-joo wears a mask and hat to try to hide his identity, and Mary covers her face with a flower. After the award ceremony ends, Bae Chung-woo from the department store takes the two of them to see the villa they won. Mary is very satisfied with the courtyard, which is like a heavenly garden, and the spacious house, but lies that it is too far from both of their workplaces, so she wants to sell the house. Bae Chung-woo pulls out the newly signed property acceptance guidelines and reminds the two that they must live there for 3 months before the ownership transfer process for this house can be completed. Before that, the house remains the property of the department store, and they have no right to sell it. If they divorce within 3 months, the prize will be automatically cancelled. At the same time, someone will come to the house for on-site inspection to confirm that the two are genuinely living there. Bae Chung-woo reveals that he lives right across from this villa and that if he sees them every day, It will count as successful investigation evidence. Kim Woo-joo had not expected that this simple help would create such a series of problems. After Bae Chung-woo leaves, he takes off the ring and glasses, refusing to continue acting with Mary, and tells Mary to handle the problem herself. He walks out of the villa, but then thinks his treatment of Mary was too harsh, so he pulls out his phone to call Mary to apologize. Just as the phone is answered, he sees his aunt and cousin suddenly appear in front of him, so he quickly hangs up. The aunt and cousin were actually there to meet with an entrepreneur living nearby and unexpectedly ran into Kim Woo-joo. Both ask Kim Woo-joo why he is here. Before Kim Woo-joo can give a reasonable explanation, Bae Chung-woo, who was out for a walk, comes over and greets Kim Woo-joo. While Kim Woo-joo is at a loss, he sees Mary walking towards them while calling him. The episode ends here. See you again in the next new episode. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the video.